Good morning, all. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Town of Hempstead IDA board meeting for Tuesday, Jan 21st. Before we begin, please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please have a seat. So, I want to confirm the presence of a quorum, which we do have. We're waiting for a new member as well as an established member. Any public comment with respect to the posted agenda items? Okay, then. Please approach and identify yourself, please. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Michelle Allen Oder, and I'm here on behalf of myself as a homeowner, but also on behalf of the Baldwin citizens in relation to the project that is being discussed today at the meeting about the inducement resolution for the JAEP properties. So this project, which required significant zoning changes and variances, was presented to the Town Board of Hempstead in October 2023. They were granted a rapid approval despite a tremendous amount of public outcry. In fact, Donald Clavin had demanded that they have a community listening session, which was held, and despite that, this project was rushed through within a very short period of time. As you may be aware, the original developer responsible for launching this project, his name was Gregory DeRosa. His project was G2D, and right now they are enmeshed in over 20 multi-million-dollar lawsuits, raising some very critical questions. And you can read all the court documents, filing with the Supreme Court, allegations of falsified documents, breach of contract, money laundering, conflict of interest in the town of Huntington with this developer and this builder, as well as the development of a Ponzi scheme. So why am I bringing all this up? So I'm bringing this up because I just found out, despite the fact that I have gone to every town board meeting for the last 4 months, there's a petition going around Baldwin to try to stop this project. I've been reassured by the town board that the project has been postponed and paused. And on Thursday night, found out that it actually is not being postponed and paused, that there is a new LLC that is taking over the project. So given the alarming and serious allegations, I really believe that this board has to consider that every document that was submitted by Gregory DeRosa and G2D are potentially fraudulent. Can anything that was given to the board be trusted? The pilot study, the site plans especially, the draft projects, pilots, the cost analysis, anything that was submitted. In fact, in September 17th, the day that the IDA was supposed to approve it was the day that his attorney stood up and asked for a postponement. I would love to see Baldwin, a very blighted community, be developed. But as a homeowner whose property shares a property line with this, I really think that the board has to take into consideration that this project really cannot be put through without extreme scrutiny for every single document. And just and it's not the fact that DeRosa and G2D are out of the picture. There were so many victims of his false claims, his Ponzi scheme, and I happen to be one of his victims because my house shares the property line. So what I have been presenting to the town board is that everything that he submitted has to be scrutinized. We can't just have another LLC pick up the project as it was. I think that this would be very unfair not only to the citizens of Baldwin, but this could potentially open up the town and the town board to possible legal allegations, ethical considerations. Baldwin residents and myself are adversely affected, and I'm an adversely affected homeowner. And the people of the town of Hempstead, our taxpayers, deserve transparency, accountability, and ethical governance. And so right now, I'm here opposed to this as it stands right now.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Michelle was your first name, right?
Yes, Michelle with one L.
And what is your last name?
Allen Oder, O-D-E-R.
Thank you for your passion on that topic. That, you said that there was a meeting held. Did you say that the supervisor attended it or called it, or was it?
So back in October of 2023, there was tremendous community opposition to this project. It affects many houses. My house is 100% impacted. My property value, if this project goes through without my being included into this project, is going to be worth nothing.
So to that question,
So there was a
what-
lot of
did-
opposition.
Did he
and-
call that meeting, or did somebody else call that meeting?
So this meeting was demanded by Donald Clavin. We had the meeting, and there are so many layers to this that it
Okay.
really is unbelievable. The bottom line is that Gregory DeRosa and G2D were scam artists, and at the time that they stood up in front of the town board, nobody knew that this man had a Ponzi scheme essentially in effect. And honestly, I can't be a victim any longer of this, and I appreciate Mr. Pacey. I don't even think he knows so much of what's gone on behind the scenes with this, but right now, as I said, there is oh, it's in my bag over there, there's a petition that has over 100 signatures from the people of Baldwin, and in particular, people surrounding Harrison Avenue and Bixby Drive that are still in opposition and really outraged over the fact that this whole thing with Greg DeRosa and G2D came to light. That have we been deceived when we're told that the project is being paused, that the project is being postponed? And in fact, I was told by one of the town attorneys that the project may be terminated because of these facts.
Okay,
So
thank
all
you.
of this is documented. You can go and read all of the articles. You can go on to the New York State Supreme Court and read all of the judgments against him. And I would like this to be a postponement to be taken into consideration.
Okay, thanks for your answer.
Thank
Any
you so
comments or questions from the board before I ask staff to comment? Anybody? Okay. Any comments regarding this issue?
We've done due diligence with respect to the allegations. Mr. DeRosa is under criminal investigation and criminal indictment. He's out of it. His paperwork is nowhere in that one trail. Everything has been redone with new ownership, new equity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The town board is acting. It's not this board's role to necessarily approve zoning or what have you. In fact, it's a requirement for the record that all of that be done before we consider a project. So that's where it is.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. And thank you, man, for your
The issue is
time.
that if the project as it was is being transferred over, that's where the concern comes from.
Okay. Thanks very much for
Thank
your
you so
comment.
much.
Much appreciated. Any other public comment? All right, I'm going to ask, again, thanks for your comments, sir. I'm going to ask that we excuse ourselves for executive session.
To consider matters of litigation and administration.
Thank you very much.
Second, do we have to vote on that? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Excellent, thank you. Okay, we're back. Can I get a motion to get, to leave executive session, please?
So move.
May I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Excellent. Just for the record, there was no action taken in that executive session. Okay, so, village business, Village of Freeport, we have no business. Still correct? Village of Hempstead, nothing. No new business. New business, applications, transaction resolutions, and presentations. Consideration of an inducement resolution for JEP Properties, 2283 Grand Avenue in Baldwin.
Good morning, members of the board. Peter Curry, Farrell Fritz, 400 RXR Plaza, Uniondale, New York. I'm here on behalf of JAE Properties. John Pacey and Ken McAvoy are here from JAE Properties. JAEP Properties is owned by John and his wife Kelly. The property they are seeking to develop is at 2283 Grand Avenue in Baldwin, New York. This property is located within the Baldwin Mixed-Use Overlay Zoning District, which is denoted as B-MX. It is to encourage the development of a walkable, compact, and transit-oriented downtown with a mix of residential, retail, and commercial uses, supported by new infrastructure accommodations and planned station improvements to the Long Island Railroad MTA areas. The building that they're seeking to build is an approximately 71,000 square foot building. It's a 4-story mixed-use building. There'll be 12 one-bedroom apartments and 42 two-bedroom rental units. Ground floor is to be used for commercial space. The project, as you can see from the application, is estimated to exceed $27 million in total construction costs. The Camoin report, which was prepared on behalf of the agency, indicates that the hard costs, or of the hard costs, approximately 70%, or $11.3 million, will be allocated to the town of Hempstead. That would result in approximately 49 direct, indirect, and induced jobs and an overall economic impact of construction of $19 million. That would be 50 new net households, was determined in the Camoin report, and the in-town spending annually from those 50 new households would be slightly less than $2.4 million. The overall annual spend, based upon those households, the employees, and the induced effect of them spending the money within the town, would be $4.6 million. And the overall spend on an annual basis, including things that are required, would be $5.3 million. On behalf of the applicant, we commissioned a report from the MRB Group, which is a respected economic impact analytics company, actually comprised of ex-Camoin employees. And in addition to generally supporting the Camoin analysis, it projected a school district population increase of approximately 5 students. The 2023-2024 population of the Baldwin School District was 4,341 students, so this would be an increase of 0.11%. As has been stated earlier, there is some controversy with regard to the original developer of this project. We actually did not bring that project forward to the IDA. At the time the issues arose and the story broke, we were preparing to bring a project to the IDA. We did not. This is a new applicant. The contract to acquire the property from the old applicant was terminated. There was a new contract to acquire the property. Everything is different. And I will state on behalf of the members of the LLC that they have been defrauded by the former developer. They have lost several $1 million, not only on this project, but on other projects throughout Long Island. And rather than lick their wounds and walk away, they understand that this is a good project, that this is specifically set forth in the town code to develop property like this, and they've determined to go ahead, continue to invest despite their losses on this and a couple of other projects. So again, if you want to talk about victims, they are victims of the prior developer. Mr. Pacey is suing Mr. DeRosa and anticipates a successful result in that litigation. I'd now like to open it up for any questions from the board.
I have a question. I'm on the Google map, and you mentioned it was a 4-story building?
Yes.
Is it that that four-story cement building? Or is it something different? What building is it?
Oh, you mean the current building?
Yes,
Oh, the current building is cement building.
okay.
That's not, I don't believe it's a four-story building, the funeral home.
Yeah, so I see the funeral home, looks like a funeral home is 2283 grand, right? That's the project. So when you said four-story, that doesn't look like a four-story building, but what will be built will be a four-story?
Yes,
Correct,
that's
got it. Okay, right now I have no further questions. Anybody?
I have a quick question.
Please.
So what's the anticipated use for the commercial on the first floor? In terms of how many potential businesses, and if you have some sense of what they might be?
We do not have a sense at this time. This is pretty early in the process. The former developer had a co-working space that obviously is not the type of thing that really would work. So it's anticipated that it would be some kind of office use, but at this stage of the game, we don't have a tenant. You know, given the time that it would take to construct the project, there's time to look for that tenant.
Any other questions from the board? Staff, any questions, comments?
I want to express where the project is in terms of the fact that all preconditions, building codes, permits, variance.
Hello?
Yep.
All prior conditions have been received. And I just checked, we did not get a letter in opposition from the school board.
Okay. Attorney
Chairman,
Curry,
I'd
you
just
can-
like to note for the record, too, that this is only on for an inducement resolution, a preliminary inducement resolution. This is not a final authorizing resolution, so this is not the last step in this process for this board.
I have a question of Attorney Curry. So, as Ms. Perola said, everything else is in place, all the boxes have been checked as far as the county and the town?
No, the town process is ongoing, which is why we are not seeking a final authorizing resolution at this time. So I need to go back to the town board for some, a change in the name of the applicant, you know, to conform to the actual current applicant. That process is happening as soon as February 4th,
Okay,
or as soon as tonight, actually, but if not tonight, then February 4th.
thank you. Any further comment? So can somebody make a motion for consideration of an inducement resolution for
I'll make the
JEP
motion.
properties? Thank you, Jack. Anybody, a second, please?
I'll second it.
Second, Jerry. Anybody, a vote in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Again, I thank the board for its consideration, and have a good day.
Thank you. Next up is consideration of a tenant consent for 900 Stewart Avenue Holdings, Garfunkel Wild PC, 900 Stewart Avenue, Garden City.
I spoke with Mr. Katz, who represents the equitable owner of the property, obviously who negotiated the deal with this Garfunkel Wild, which is a law firm. As you'll note, they're bringing 160 higher-paying jobs for the most part, and middle-income jobs to the area. They're relocating. He is very excited about, obviously, having a solid tenant, and from an economic standpoint, we should be very excited because it's bringing, obviously, spending into the area. And so as far as staff goes, we recommend the lease be approved.
Mr. Pearl, you said 160 jobs?
Yes.
That's the abandoned J.P. Morgan Chase mortgage headquarters, right? If I'm not mistaken?
I think so.
A big
In
multi-story building?
900.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Yes.
big empty building.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's the fourth floor they leave it pulling out.
excellent. Okay.
It's the entrance into the master plan.
Yes, that's correct. Any other comments from the board before we make a motion? Folks all good? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Great. Can I get a second? Great. Those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. New business. CEO's report.
The report really, this month, really just updates the status of the various applications before us. It's active out there, even though mortgage rates are up. And any questions on any of the projects, certainly you can always call us or immediately ask.
Excellent. I also was remiss before, after executive session, we were joined by our newest board member, Guy Savia, so we welcome Guy Savia to my left. Thanks for being here. Thank you, sir. Discussion of rent increase by the town of Hempstead?
I've been, I've been discussing this with the town attorney, because as you know, for a number of years, like a decade, the town failed to update the lease that I drew up and gave to them, so it's gone back and forth. So I also spoke to the supervisor, and I don't think he'll mind me saying that his comment was, well, you guys have a lot of money. Can you increase your rent a little bit more? And I said, of course, supervisor. So that's where it is. We're awaiting the latest damage report.
Okay, thank you. The compliance 2020 update, 2024 update?
The compliance update is just a document I provide for the board to give you an idea of the status of all of our 74 projects that we're reporting this year and where they are as far as their annual compliance submissions. Since I mailed this out to you, there have been a lot more submissions because the due date was January 16th. So at next month's meeting, you'll have a more thorough document that explains how well we're doing. And then there's no vote required on that. The next item on the agenda is the summary of confidential evaluations. That's a summary of all the submissions you made to me. And then there's a new form that you have to fill out. I left at all your spots. If you can get that to me either today or email it, send it in, whatever it is. It's part of what we have to report to the state. It's part of our requirements.
Excellent, thank
Thank
you. So that covers the summary, that covers the distribution. Okay, thank you, Arlen. Consideration of appointment of officers for 2025.
So we have as acting chairman, vice chairman, Mr. Gretsch, secretary Jack Mikett, and treasurer Dr. Eric Millette.
That does not require a vote, correct?
Yes, it does.
It does, okay. Those are all the three positions. Can I get a motion to accept as presented those appointment of officers?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Consideration of agency committees for 2025.
So you have before you the committee assignments, and this is not a hard and fast. If there's something that catches your interest and you want to join a committee that you may not be on, or get off all of them, I can see Dr. Millette. Certainly, we're happy to do that. This is just our best guesstimate in terms of where you might want to serve. But again, we're flexible. Whatever you want to do, we'll move people, add you, whatever is accommodating.
Excellent. A motion required?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to accept the consideration of agency committees for 2025?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made. A second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Consideration and adoption of the prevailing wage, construction wage policy.
No changes.
There are no changes. This policy at $5 million requires 90% of the workers, as you know, to be from Nassau or Suffolk, as well as materials, et cetera, et cetera. It follows Nassau counties and most of the IDAs on the island.
Excellent. Okay, can I get a motion to accept the current prevailing wage construction policy?
So moved.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Consideration and adoption of a resolution to reappoint John E. Ryan as agency counsel.
Could not have, as Tom Gresh said, you can't have a better consigliere than John Ryan. He's going to become Italian, so it'll work out perfectly. And but staff loves working with him. He's talented and he's insightful, and he keeps us on the straight line.
I would also say, in support of that comment, that Attorney Ryan is a true friend and an advisor to the board, so we're thankful for your service. Any comment?
Great job.
Yeah.
as
Excellent.
always.
Thank you,
agree.
thank
Great
you, Attorney
counsel.
Ryan.
You
Okay,
can
let's,
change the Y to an O if you want at the end.
no, we'll leave that. Let's make a motion. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Great, second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations and thank you, sir.
Thank you. I thank all the board members. Thank you for the confidence you placed in me.
You're welcome. Consideration and adoption of a resolution to reappoint Nixon Peabody LLP, Phillips Lytle LLP, and Barclay Damon LLP as transaction bond counsel.
Outstanding, we receive outstanding legal representation, very happy with our team there, and staff recommends it to you.
Excellent. Just a comment too, thank you very much for your service. You guys do a great job, and we're grateful for always looking out for the best interests of not only the board, but the citizens of town of Hempstead.
Ditto.
Other comments?
Ditto.
Yeah, I agree.
Ditto is good, I like that, ditto. That's for the record too. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Great, a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries, and again, thank you all for your service. Consideration and adoption, this is a new add to the agenda. I hope you all have that. Consideration and adoption of a resolution to pay John E. Ryan for professional services above and beyond rendered for the Valley Stream Central High School School District et al. Versus the Town of Hempstead et al.
So, we've had a long history, for the record, with Valley Stream. They have been on the short end in terms of following the law, and this is another cost for us. And of course, they're spending probably much more because they have a whole law firm at us, but we have John, so they come up short every time, and he submitted a bill, and it's well-deserving. So from staff's standpoint, we recommend that this be paid promptly and approved by you accordingly.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Excellent. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Wait a second.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? Motion carried, and again, thanks for saving the hardworking taxpayers of town of Hempstead this frivolous situation. Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you.
Consideration and adoption of the recurring expenses resolution.
So, this is to give us flexibility and to proceed organizationally, if that's the word. And you'll see the list of changes that had to be done, budget line to budget line, as you know, a budget.
This is the recurring expenses.
Oh, the recurring expenses.
That's one's next.
Okay, so these are the recurring expenses that we deal with, and the list is there for you to look at.
Excellent.
Anything else on
Any comments from the board? Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Those in favor? I'm sorry, a second, excuse me, a second? Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Consideration of budget line transfers for 2024.
So as I started to say, this is, your budget is a guesstimate, and we do our best at the beginning of the year to appropriately provide enough dollars in each line item. There are very few and not a significant amount of money that is on the budget line transfers for your consideration, and budget is in great shape, as I hope the treasurer will support when he's called upon. And these budget line transfers work well with respect to us approving a budget for the year.
Excellent. So just a quick question. This is a look back at 24, or this is a look forward for 25?
24.
For 24. Excellent, thank you. Comments from the board? May I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Under old business, there is none. Reading and approval of minutes of previous meetings, consideration adoption of the minutes of December 17, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we waive the reading of the previous minutes and adopt the minutes of December 17, 2024.
Excellent. Since there's a consideration and an adoption, I have to get a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Thank you.
So, I moved it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
So I made a motion that we waive and that we adopt the minutes.
excellent?
Right.
So we're,
Just wanted-
so we're square, right?
Right.
Excellent. Thank you. Report of the treasurer, financial statements and expenditure list from December 11, 2024 to January 14th, 2025.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, all looks well. I want to thank the staff for doing a great job as always. All is, lines are where they should be, and Ts are crossed and Is are dotted. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No motions required. We had executive session. There are no committee updates. The next meetings, you'll be sharing the schedule and the timing for all those, especially for our new member.
Correct. You'll receive a separate emails on whatever committees you're on, directed to you with the list of the members and whatever committee.
Excellent, as always. Thank you, Michael. So I'm going to ask for an adjournment. Anybody have any comments before I make a motion for adjournment? May I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Excellent. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Motion carries, meeting adjourned. I need a gavel.
Yeah.
No.
Use your phone.
That's it? Okay, so, next up, give me a moment to shuffle some papers, so I look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, that's good. So I call to order the meeting of the Town of Hempstead Local Development Corp., the LDC, for this morning, January 21st, 2025. We have a quorum. Are there any announcements? There's no announcements to be spoken of. I'm going to ask for public comment, even though there's no souls back there. No comment, no public comment. Excellent. New business. Consideration of a resolution to appoint LDC committee members.
This will mirror the IDA's committee members, minus, I believe, Lorraine and Laura flip a little bit depending on the agency.
Okay.
But everyone else should be the same.
So it says consideration, not adoption. I make a motion?
Consideration and adoption.
Just want to make sure.
Yes, please.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Great. A second? Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Consideration of a resolution to appoint the LDC officers of the board.
Also mirrors the IDA.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second? Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Consideration of a resolution to appoint the LDC Bond Transaction Council.
Same as the IDA, it's Nixon, Peabody, Phillips Lytle, and Barclay Damon.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Excellent. A second?
I'll second.
Wonderful. Can I get a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? In favor? Motion carries. Consideration of the construction wage policy, prevailing wage policy.
I think you skipped Corporation Council.
I apologize, sorry. Consideration of a...
Very important motion.
That's maybe the most important one on the docket today, sir. Consideration of a resolution to appoint the LDC Corporation Council. Comment from the board? Happy, love them, they're terrific.
Absolutely.
So moved.
Excellent. Second?
I'll second.
Second.
If those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Excellent. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Now, the consideration of the construction wage policy, prevailing wage policy.
No change.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
May I get a second?
I'll second.
Excellent. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? None. Anybody abstain? None. Motion carries. Consideration of a resolution to authorize budget line transfers of the 2024 budget.
As you had asked earlier, it's going backwards just to fill the gaps on the previous year's budget.
Excellent. Thank you. Comments? Sorry, I should ask for comments. Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second? Thank you. In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Summary of confidential board evaluations.
This is the form we had given you a month or so prior. It just has the numbers on what everyone voted on, and as Arlen stated prior, we do have a new evaluation form in your packets. If you could please fill that out. There's one for the IDA, one for the LDC, so they're separate. This one's a little more in-depth, and it's not confidential, but that's the next line item.
Thank you. I don't need to make a motion for that, do I? Nope. Distribution of board self-evaluation forms. Michael mentioned that already. Reading and approval of minutes. Consideration approval of the minutes of December 17th, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we waive the reading of the previous minutes and adopt the minutes of December 17, 2024.
Excellent. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Sorry, pardon, that is the motion. Second?
Second.
Great. Those in favor? Aye. Anybody abstain? Opposed? Motion carries. Report of the treasurer, financial statements and expenditure list, December 11, 24 to January 14th, 25.
Yes, again, Mr. Chairman, I want to commend the board for doing a great job, and all of our financial statements and expenditure lists, all is in well order.
Excellent.
Want to thank them for doing a great job.
Awesome. Okay, committee updates, there are none, same as, Michael, same as next meeting? Next month, yes. Excellent, okay. Any comments or questions from the board, staff, or council?
Yeah, I'll make a comment.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would like to thank Tom for stepping in as the interim chair of the committee and didn't miss a beat at all, and I'm glad that he has accepted the responsibility of being the permanent chair. So good luck and congratulations.
Thank you, you're very kind. Thank you.
Outstanding,
Thank
yes.
you. Appreciate that, thank you.
Great job, Tom.
Thank you. So, let's make a motion to adjourn, shall we?
Yes,
Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second? Great, those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No. Abstentions, no. I call the meeting of the January 21st LDC meeting adjourned. Thank you.
So I had this, and then we had this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's an LDC. See?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did I miss this thing? I saw this.